my introduction. We're almost there. Bear with us, friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I believe we are live. Okay, so let's see here. I would like to welcome Beth Ann, Dawn, who else do I see here? Jennifer, Tanya, Teresa, and Shannon. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Those of you that don't know me, probably everybody, because it doesn't look like I have any of my people on yet. But hey, if you're watching us over on Facebook Live, above the video is the link to join us over on Zoom so you can interact with us. We would love to have you join us. And tonight we are doing a healthy soup recipe, and literally super easy too. I'm excited. And I kind of made the recipe up myself a little bit. Altered a recipe that I saw anyway. So just to go to show you that you don't have to, you can do anything you want with your Pampered Chef business. So let me segue into my introduction. My name is Jessica Arnott. I am a director with Pampered Chef, and I have been with Pampered Chef for almost 25 years. Yeah, crap. I started when I was 12.
Sure you did.
Yeah. So back then when I first started my business, I was working full time and I needed to supplement my income alongside my full-time job. And that actually seems to be a pretty big trend right now, a side hustle. So this is a really great side hustle. I'm 25 years experience with it to prove that it's a great side hustle. But the reason I joined then was because my roommate was moving out and I didn't want to have to get another roommate. So I needed to supplement my income so I could cover all my expenses and yet still have play money to go out with my friends or buy a new pair of shoes or jeans or whatever. So I decided to give this a try. Plus she was taking half the kitchen stuff with her. So I needed to restock the kitchen. 25 years later, it's now busting out at the seams and I have an office filled with product as well. It's crazy. You get so much from being a Pampered Chef consultant besides cash that it's amazing. And my favorite piece about this business is the friendships that I've made along the way, which is Nicole. She lives in Pennsylvania, as all of you know, and I live in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, the Jersey Shore. So I think her and I live almost 3.5, 4 hours away from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we became friends through Pampered Chef, through on-site conferences, retreats, and the trip, especially the trip. And when you earn a Pampered Chef trip, it ain't work when you're on this trip. It is leisure and it is fun. And they throw us a big party to congratulate us for earning the trip and all that stuff. So this year, I believe we both have the same goal, which is to earn the cruise to Alaska.
Can't
That is the
wait.
high level trip. Yes. And then the lower level trip is to Bermuda, and that's fine too. I'd be happy with that as well. So let's see. Let's get into the nitty gritty because I'm going first with my recipe and I am showing you the Deluxe Cooking Blender. So does anybody have the Deluxe Cooking Blender in their kitchens besides Nicole and I right now? Let me know either in the chat, raise your hands because I'm pretty sure I can't see all of you at the moment, but yeah. All right. So I'm going to hopefully make you fall in love with this and you're going to want to have this in your kitchen too, because I'm going to tell a little story too that I recently, was working with a coach, a business coach that I work with, and I was showing her some of my slides that I have on Instagram with the blender. And there was a few things that caught her eye, which was one, that it cooks when I mentioned the word cook. The other one was that you can make your own alternate milks with it. She thought that was great. And then the favorite feature of mine, which I think is the whole reason that put her over the edge to say, I need that in my kitchen, is the cleaning feature that this has, because this also cleans itself. So
Wow.
it's amazing. So it has pre-settings, 8 pre-settings. So it makes a smoothie. You can do alternate milk. So if you are one of those that like your oat milks, your almond milk, your cashew milk, you can make it in this blender, and it will, over time, it'll save you money.
That's awesome.
This blender at full price is $349. However, as a host, and especially in January, you can pick this up at 60% off, which brings it down to, I believe, under 140 bucks. And it really is truly a great investment for your kitchen. I use it. I just cook for 2. I'm a family of 2, my husband and I. There's 3 if you want to say my 4-legged baby. So I do use this at least 3 times a week, whether it's to grind up my Parmesan cheese because I'm too cheap to buy it pre-grated and I want it fresh. I grate it in here, to making soups, to doing sauces, and doing all that kind of stuff in it. So the settings that it has is smoothie. So if you love to make fruit smoothies, vegetable smoothies, this thing grinds everything up super smooth and fast. You got a nice smoothie within a minute and a half. I mentioned the alternate milks. It has the grind setting. It also has a custom setting, so you can set it to whatever power you need, like 1 through, I think it's 8. And of course, the heated wash. It does have a pulse button, so you can just, tap it if you need to, just to whip, like say you're like, for example, with the soup I'm making at the end, the last ingredient that goes in when it's done cooking, I need to add that to it and then just, pulse it just to get it all mixed in. It doesn't need to cook with it. Oh, and you can make jam. Oh, you can even make your own jam. So if you go strawberry picking, blueberry picking, this will make your own jam. Sauces, and then heated puree. So if there's anyone here who has little ones in their lives, you can make your own baby food with this as well. So like I said, I mean, you can have this blender in your kitchen.
So like your own applesauce?
From your life start to finish.
Yes.
Basically. And like I said, the blender has the heated wash cycle. So you literally, to do that, it's filled up with 3 cups of water, a couple dashes of dish soap, and then you just pop it on the blender, and then you set it to the heated wash setting and walk away. And within 3 minutes, it's all cleaned out, and you just rinse it out, dump the soapy water out, and dry it up, and you're good to go. So the recipe I'm making tonight, I'm going to switch my view. So you can see my ingredients and all that stuff, what I'm doing here in the kitchen with the blender. So now you're just going to see me down here. So I'm making cream of asparagus soup, and this is going to be my secret ingredient. This is a Pampered Chef spice, fresh peppercorn and garlic. And I left the asparagus out, which you can't even see because salt and pepper grinders are in the way. Because I don't know if everybody knows this little tip though, when you're making asparagus, if you just take one and go like that, and then just let it break itself, basically, so if I was roasting these, I wouldn't want to eat this part. So you would want to take the piece that you broke, put it up at the top, and then you can just use that one piece as a guideline to cut the root ends of the asparagus off and push them away. So I'm going to actually, because I'm making soup, I'm going to use all of it. So to do that, can you guys see the blender too?
Yeah.
No, I can't.
See what's going on? Okay.
I can't see the
How about
top.
I slide over this way?
There you go.
Well, that's okay. You don't really need to see the top. Okay. So I'm just going to actually throw all of this asparagus right in here. So when I said I'm making up this recipe is, the guideline recipe I'm using is actually from Skinny Taste. And to make this recipe, you need to put the liquid and the asparagus in a pot and let that come to a boil and simmer for 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, I got a blender to do that in. So we need a little bit of onion, which I already chopped up the other day. And I just need like a
blows my
tablespoon
mind
of
that it
onion.
cooks.
Yeah, it heats up. This is a glass blender also. It's not plastic, which is nice. And then I'm going to add about a tablespoon of the seasoning mix. Let me do it down here. Yeah, so it reaches up to, high temperature, cooks the food. So and it has a soup setting. And with the soup setting, as it cooks, it grinds and then slowly heats up. So within 30 minutes, no matter what, you have soup. So this is 3 cups of chicken stock. I'm using chicken stock. The recipe did call for chicken stock, but most soups that call for water, I'll use chicken stock anyway, because I just feel it adds a lot more flavor to it. So it does have over here is your on-off switch. So it has an on-off switch, so you can leave it plugged in. And then I'm just going to turn the dial. Let me see if I can bring you guys a little bit closer to my blender. Oh, I need forgot. I'm going to throw, just for a little bit more flavor too, about a tablespoon of butter. I'm just going to throw that in here.
Butter always makes it better.
Yeah, it certainly does. Okay, let's see. Move my little whale out of the way. All right, so here are your settings. Right now it's flashing on custom blend, and to do this, you just need to turn the dial. And I'm just going to turn it over to the soup setting, and then you just press it in, and then it's going to do its thing. So so now, like you see, all that asparagus in there, it's going to get cooked and smoothed out. And this is going to be a smooth and creamy soup when it's all finished. So it's going to continue to, kind of like a puree. Yeah. So if you do like texture in your soup, so I even make cream of broccoli soup or broccoli and cheddar soup in here as well. But sometimes I like chunks of broccoli in my soup. Just keep them aside, and you can just, cook them real quick in the microwave and add them to the soup after, if you like texture in your soup. But this is going to be like a nice, smooth soup, and it's super healthy, because to make this, creamy, I'm going to show you what I'm going to use to make this creamy. I'm going to go ahead and change my view again. So we're looking at the blender as it does its thing. So this is going to heat up and cook and grind up all the asparagus. And then once it's done with this cycle, it will say add if you have other ingredients to add to it, I believe, right? It does that on the soup setting, right, Nicole?
Yes.
Or is that just
yep. Nope. It does it on the soup setting too.
Okay. So some recipes call for, some after it's all done cooking, you add more ingredient to it. And that's what's going to happen. This is when it's done cooking, it's going to say add, and then you can do any kind of cream you like or milk. Excuse me. But I am going to use actually non-fat Greek yogurt for 2 reasons. There's no points in this if you follow Weight Watchers, and it's going to add protein to the soup. So if you're doing macros and that kind of stuff and you need to count your proteins, this is another good way to get protein into the soup. And then that's what's going to happen. So once that's done, by the time the cold's done, hopefully the soup will be done and I can show you the finished product. So does anybody have any questions about the blender so far? And if you're asking questions on Facebook Live in the comments, we will get back to you. We'll answer any questions that you have or any comments that you need to say or whatever. We'll get back to you on Facebook because we're not monitoring that right now. We're just over here on Zoom.
Yeah, join us on Zoom.
Yeah.
All right. So you're done? You're good? You're going to hand it over?
I'm good. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Handing it over. The torch is over to you, Nicole. Show
So
us
I
another
think-
amazing product.
Yes. So I think most of you all know who I am. A lot of you are hosting with me currently at this moment. I think I have a few people in here that are guests in some of the parties. So thank you all so much for joining. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to turn on your camera so you can see your beautiful faces, that would be even better yet. But I'm going to be showing you guys here tonight a fabulous product that is still somewhat kind of new to Pampered Chef. A lot of people don't realize we do have a stand mixer that is out. So Pampered Chef calls it the deluxe stand mixer, and it is truly deluxe. It comes with two different types of pasta attachments. I should say three, and I'll show you those here in a minute. It also comes with a stainless steel bowl that we have here too. It has the whipper. I like to call this the butter. You can make butter with this, or you could also do whipped cream with it. Has that attachment, and then it also comes with the mixing blade, I guess you could call it, the mixing one in the end. And then it also has, to make your life easier in the kitchen, a dough hook, okay, for making bread. And this is also what I use to make the pasta with. So it comes with this nice size bowl with a nice handle on it. Everything I just showed you as well is also dishwasher safe. I know that really affects a lot of people's questions of, hey, is this dishwasher safe? Can I put everything in my dishwasher? Yes, you can. Don't be putting that blender in the dishwasher though. That's why it has a cleaning cycle to it, okay? So I am going to show you guys now let me show you as well our attachments that we have. I currently have one that's already attached to the deluxe stand mixer here. But this attachment is the first attachment that you use. And this guy here is the one that actually flattens your pasta out and makes it into what we call like strips. Okay. So this, what I held up here, is going to actually be going in to make I have actually the spaghetti attachment attached to it tonight. So this flattens your dough when you go to put it through for your pasta and different things like that. And then this guy here is your fettuccine attachment. This just goes right onto the front of the stand mixer that we have there then too. So that's your fettuccine. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn this over, and you guys will see that I do have the spaghetti attachment attached to this here. So all I'm literally going to do is take our pasta and I'm going to run it straight through. I have it set. I don't know if everybody can completely see this, but I do have this set down here with the knob at the custom setting and on a number 1. It tells you that in a book that comes with all of the rollers, what setting to turn it onto and all of that good stuff. Okay. So literally all I'm going to do is turn this onto a setting 1 and get it started and run this straight through.
Often are cases that need a higher level of care, that is to say, a good university hospital. And we're blessed to have Hershey Medical Center, and they're
As you can see here, it's kind of crumbling because I made this too far in advance, probably. So let me show you the other one that I also have over here. This one's going through a little bit nicer, but because of the power of magic, I am also going to show you this dish that I've already done ahead of time. So as you can see here, we've got some spaghetti noodles. These are like, I call it angel hair pasta because how super fine it is. Just bear with me for one.
Nicole, the actual ingredients for the
Yep.
pasta, it's just a couple ingredients, right?
Yep.
It's just flour, egg.
Yep, I'm going to go over that here in just 1 second. So I'm going to take a
Okay.
couple more of these straight through, and I'll go over what I pretty much made this with and how I made it. Now, I don't know if anybody notices, but I have some here. Some of this pasta is actually also has in it a spice. So I have in this right now, this pasta here, okay, has got pesto in it. All right. So you don't have to add that if you don't want to. That is an option. But this one here does not have any of that inside of it. All right. So just take it through. But like I said, I made this way in advance. So it is kind of crumbly. But a while ago, it was coming out perfect. Of course, right? The demonstration of live. We call this pampered, not perfect, correct? All right, so let me walk you guys across my kitchen here. And I'm going to take you over here. And you guys can see that I've got our cheese grater sitting right here. And I'm going to grate up some cheese and show you the dish that I've already pretty much made ahead of time. But this is the dish I made ahead of time. And I'll tell you about how I made it and all that good stuff. But basically, all you have to do is just follow these directions right here in the book that it comes with. To make the homemade pasta, this is all I added. 3 cups of all-purpose flour. And then I did 4 eggs, 1/4 cup of olive oil. And then this one here says you can add the basil pesto seasoning mix into it. That is completely optional. And then 1 teaspoon of salt. That's all I added into the pasta to make it in the end. Okay. Now, made slightly ahead of time is our pasta dish that I have cooking up right here in our new stainless steel pan, one of my favorite saute pans that we currently have out right now. So I have some broccoli in here, all right, along with the fettuccine noodles that, as you can see, turned out very, very nice with a creamy consistency. I did use heavy whipping cream. It is up to you. You cannot use heavy whipping cream, or you can choose to use that. That is an option, but in the recipe it says use heavy whipping cream for the Alfredo sauce. So that's pretty much what I did, is I used the heavy whipping cream. So this called for 2 tablespoons of butter, 1.5 tablespoons of basil pesto seasoning, and then 2 cups of heavy cream, the Parmesan cheese, which I'm going to show you here that I grated up ahead of time. And we also did 1/2 teaspoon of salt and black pepper, and then just sliced up some broccoli to go inside of it. But Jess was saying a few minutes ago that you guys could grate up your own Parmesan cheese within, what do you say, 15 seconds, Jess, in that cooking blender.
Oh,
And
yeah.
look how
Nice.
fine that is, okay? But we do have a cheese grater. If you're interested in our cheese grater, I have that sitting over here. And I'm going to go ahead and grate up some of our mozzarella cheese to go over the top of this here. But this is your dual-sided cheese grater. This side here is more for Parmesan, and this side here is more for your soft cheeses, such as your mozzarellas and that kind of stuff. So we're going to grate up some mozzarella cheese to go over the top of this dish as well. Now, if you know me and you've been to any of my cooking parties, you know I talk about why you want to grate your own cheese instead of buying pre-shredded bag cheese. What comes in that pre-shredded bag cheese is some nasty, funky stuff. There is some serious preservatives in that bag cheese. So I'm always all about grating your own cheese ahead of time, and you can freeze it. Okay, you can pull out what you need from the freezer, from the fridge. But if you do leave your grated cheese in the fridge for about a week-ish, pushing it to 2 weeks, you will see that there will be some mold growing on it. So I always recommend putting it into a freezer bag and freezing it and pulling out what you need ahead of time and that kind of stuff. So I'll show you how this cheese grater pretty much works here for the most part. Jess, can you see that? All right.
Yes.
So
Sorry, I was muted. Sorry.
that's okay. So cheese
It's
grater.
coming along. Look, see?
Okay. I mean, I've already got a good portion of it already grated up. This is just like, I want to say maybe 8 ounce block, I think it was at the most, of our mozzarella. Now, this does come with an attachment if you are the type of person who cuts theirself. I recommend using the cheese grating attachment that comes with this, and then you can just simply slide the piece of cheese right into the attachment that goes up over the top of this here, and then you won't have to worry about cutting yourself. I like to live life slightly on the wild side and grate it with my hands. So for the most part, you see all of that cheese. Look how much cheese I got out of that. There was a lot of cheese, okay? Like a whole lot. So I'm going to dump a little bit over the top of this pasta here.
It's definitely more cheese than comes in a bag and probably costs less.
Exactly. Yeah, you're
And
going to
it's
go.
healthier.
And it didn't take me long. Okay. I mean, like, seriously, guys, I get it. You're tired. You come home and you just want to cook dinner and get the kids to bed. Trust me, I've been there. I got 2 grandkids and I can't wait some days till my daughter gets in the door and takes them home. But what I do a lot is I grate this ahead. I'll take a Sunday, grate a whole bunch of cheese, stock it away, put it in my freezer, go to Aldi's, get the block of cheese. It's not that expensive, especially if you're going, is it $2 at Aldi's, I think, at the most here in Pennsylvania. But that's what I do a lot of times. There's, I always like to give people cheese tips and garlic tips. There's all kinds of different things out there, but that is our deluxe cooking blender for you and our deluxe stand mixer. I mean, the deluxe stand mixer is used more, believe it or not, for just the baking. You can actually take your meatloaf and put it into the bowl and put the attachment attached to it and mix up all the stuff that goes into a regular meatloaf, your onions and your ketchup and all that kind of stuff, and put it into there and let it do its thing for a minute or so. It's got timed settings on it as well. So it automatically knows how long to be mixing something and all of that kind of stuff. So the settings on it has definitely helped me with baking because I am not much of a baker. I can cook, but don't try to put me into something with baking because 9 times out of 10, it is not turning out. And if it does turn out, it's not pretty. Just saying, my grandma could cook and she could bake anything. She was like an Amish lady half the time, even though she wasn't Amish, but that woman knew how to bake. That was one thing I did not pick up from her. So that's just a little tidbit. Oh, and one last thing that I do want to throw in there about this wonderful cooking blender that Jess had on display there. There is a way for you guys to get this totally for free, only in January. Okay, so you guys ready for this little pitch? So you can get that cooking blender completely for free simply by joining as a consultant in the month of January. It's a bonus gift on top of a total of around $1,000 worth of products that you can earn free by joining as a consultant. It is only $25 to join this month or 20% off of a different kit. We've got 5 different kits this month, I think it is total. We usually only have 4, but we have a $25 kit you could pick from that's pretty small. And then you have the opportunity to earn the cooking blender. Oh, and not only that, you also have the opportunity to earn that deluxe stand mixer too. Okay. So if you're like, well, I would really love that and I would love some extra income and you want to stock your kitchen, now is a good time. It's also a great time to host because of it being double free, guys. I mean, like double your money, I guess you could say. You're going to get my average host in the month of January walks away with an easy $430 in free, 5 half price items plus the 60% off special. Now, if you're already hosting with me, if a friend decides to host, you're going to walk away with a 40% off item from each person's party and an extra $50 in free product when you get 3 friends to host. Okay, so it's just a little bonus. if you've changed your mind about the possibility of joining, send me over a message and we can definitely chat. I'd love to get you signed up. I know what this business did for me going on 12 years ago. I still can't believe that it's been 12 years, working on 13 in March. I think March 23rd is the official date. I think I signed up going on 12. Well, it'll be 13 and by then. So anyways, it is only 7:30, Jess. What did we do? We did an
Oh my
awesome
gosh.
thing.
So I just want to add in there about hosting parties and so on and so forth is whether you feel that your friend maybe tapped out or not interested in a party, I say if you are interested in getting some freebies, go for it anyway. Let them make the decision if they want to join, if they want to purchase, because even if they join and don't purchase, odds are they're going to learn some new recipes. They're going to pick up some kitchen hacks. So it's not a pressure thing either. So if you are, if you're building a wish list while you're watching us here, definitely think about just going for it and having a party. Your friends might surprise you in the end. That has been my experience also throughout the years with this business. And then we also had a request to see the color coded, paring knife. So I have an older one, in pink, but I also brought out, the Santoku one as well. So, and then the knife I was using is our forged cutlery. Do we still call it forged cutlery, Nicole?
I believe they do. I can't remember the exact name of things sometimes.
I know. So you
They
don't,
change stuff.
25 years, right? And I still don't know the names of everything.
Hello? Hello, can
But
you hear me? This is
yes.
Stephanie Butler.
Hey,
Jess?
Stephanie.
Hi. No, I was interested not in the color coded, but the on the website it said coded knife.
Well, that's the color coded knives. That's what they are. They're coated like the knife blade
Right,
itself. It's coated. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But these
So,
knives were just black, just black and white. Silver and with a black handle.
right. Yeah. You get a couple different, like, they come in a couple different colors, maybe blue, green, yellow, orange. It's a variety of colors.
Did
They're
you
not
have
all
the
one
paring
color.
knife in your hand?
I'm sorry?
Did you show the paring knife? Was that one of the ones you just demonstrated? That's the
Yeah.
paring knife.
This is the size of it. Yeah. It
Can
doesn't
you
come in
hold
pink
that in
though,
your?
but this is the size of the blade.
Can you hold it in your hand like you're ready to cut? Okay.
So a paring knife is basically a 2.5 to 3 inch blade is what it is. So maybe if I change my angle here, let me just do that for you. Whoops. We'll go this way so you can see on a cutting board. So take off the protective cover, which all of our sharp tools come with, by the way. And then let me grab the butter dish. I'll just like slice a piece of butter. Give you an idea the size.
Yeah.
Can you see?
What's the next size up from a paring knife?
I think that would be the utility knife or the
Yes.
Santoku knife.
It's the
And the
utility. I
utility
have
knife
that
is
one.
at 5 inches.
The utility knife, I believe, is 5 inches. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. Which is this
Yeah,
color.
that's the ones that I saw. The ones that are with the brown handle and a silver blade.
Yep. This is your
Yep.
utility knife.
Okay. All right, that's what I'm looking at. And do you all carry sharpeners to sharpen the blade, keep the blade sharp? I'm so tired of dull knives.
Okay, so we don't have a sharpener per se, but we do have a honing tool, right, Nicole?
Yes.
So basically, first things first, no matter what kind of knife you have, whether it's Pampered Chef or any other name brands or non-name brands, don't put them in the dishwasher
Yeah.
because that does dull your knives a lot quicker. And basically what you want to do with a knife is, I'm going to try and come up to the camera here. Like, so when you're looking at your knife, the blade, if you see little, marks in the blade, that's when you want to hone it. And honing it is going to get rid of those, rigid edges and keep it nice and sharp. But over time, as you're honing your knife, the sharp edges get smaller and smaller and smaller, and then it will need to be sharpened. And actually, it's recommended that your good knives get sharpened professionally every like 2 to 3 years. And then you just, again, don't put them in the dishwasher. But the honing tool will definitely keep the knives nice and sharp for a while.
And you don't have one of those sitting around ready to demonstrate, do you?
I think I just might.
I think I want to host us a show, Nicole, when you guys are done. You get a hold of me.
Yay!
Awesome. Shannon, what's your last name?
Wagner.
Okay. I'll say, you're on Facebook. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're friends through there too. Awesome. Okay. I'll send you over a message then. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to change my angle again. So this is the honing tool, and it's got, 2 little pieces inside here, and you just basically take your knife, give it a little pressure, and then just come down. You want to do it over a cutting board so you don't damage the counter.
Can't see it.
But
I thought that's a knife sharpener.
No, it's a honing tool.
Okay, because I have 2 of those.
okay. So you use them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all. This is all what a honing tool does, and it takes all the ridges out of the blade and keeps it nice and sharp.
Right. Okay. Well, I just said keep buying me knives till I don't need them anymore.
I will say that I got one of the knives a couple years ago, and it's still really sharp. I love using it. It's one of the few knives I use in my house as one of the bigger blades I got through Unical.
Okay, awesome. Maybe it was with one of the biggest ones that we currently have, which is a chef's knife. This one is huge. This
It's a
is the
little
one
smaller than that.
smaller.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
It
then it's
feels like the one behind you.
might be this one. You think it's that one, or is it a bluish one?
It's a bluish one. Like, is that behind you?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's actually the same size as this one, believe it or not.
Oh,
It's just a different style. That's it.
I love that knife. That's what I basically use when I cook.
Yeah. I mean, all of our knives are amazing. They all stay sharp for a very, very long time. I mean, I've had these knives for several years. You know, Pamper Chef redesigned these particular knives, I would say going on almost 3 years ago. And I honestly haven't sharpened them yet. And they get used a good bit in my house.
Yeah, I haven't sharpened mine yet either.
Now, I think they
awesome.
redesigned these back last year in March, maybe. I can't remember the exact time frame. It might be a year or two. But I will say this. I know Jess just said, don't put knives in the dishwasher, which is these knives. Okay. These particular knives come with lifetime warranty. But these particular knives, I can't remember the exact time frame. I want to say 3 years, maybe.
Yeah, I
2
think
to
it's
3
3.
years. Okay.
3.
Now, this knife, which is the blue collar coated one, if you have the new collar coated knives, you can put these knives in the dishwasher. They can go through, I think I've heard 100 cycles in the dishwasher. They have some sort of silicone coating over the top of them that makes them dishwasher safe. So That's just a little input about some of the color coded knives. If you're the type of person that puts everything in the dishwasher, these are your knives to go to. If not, and you want to like me forever, I recommend these knives because they come with lifetime warranty. Literally, anything
Nice.
happens, you do not need your receipt. Okay, you need a good consultant, and her name is Nicole or Jessica. And we will call Pampered Chef and get these knives replaced for you if anything is to happen. Now, I very rarely in my 12 years have ever called about a knife.
Wow.
Okay. But there you guys go. Any other questions?
Thank you very
Yeah,
You're
there was a
welcome.
question about the blender. It's really hot now because it's cooking. And it should almost be done. Was the cup capacity? So it is, do you recall? I'm trying to read it.
Let me look at mine.
Oh, it's 7 cups. I believe you wouldn't want to go above 7 cups because as it's stirring it, see how high it goes when it's cooking.
Right. It
So,
says, here's what it says, Jess. 7 cups
okay.
cold, 6 cups hot.
Okay, there you go.
That's exactly what it says on the side.
I was
Yeah.
just going to say, I bet you hot is lower because it expands more when it cooks, when it gets hot.
I mean, it
So-
literally has cup measurements on the sides of it as well. Okay. So it even has measures for you. I mean, what else could you ask for in a blender, guys?
I know, it's a cheat sheet right on it.
And it comes with a cookbook with lots of different recipes in it. I don't know if I can find mine real quick. Yeah, I'm not trying to look in that cabinet because the stuff might fall out of it. But it literally comes with a cookbook that tells you how to grind up nut butters. Oh, and you can do sunflower butter with it too for those that are allergic to different kinds of nut butters. I had somebody a little while back buy it because they could do a sunflower butter in it. But my favorite thing to make it in is peanut butter. That's one of my favorite things. You can do almond butter. What else?
And making the peanut butter, guys, it's so easy. It's literally a
ridiculous.
jar of peanuts.
Yeah.
And that's it. So get the
After
honey
you make
roasted
the peanut
peanuts.
butter, do you have to refrigerate it?
Hold on.
I don't think you have to, but I prefer to refrigerate it.
Look. Mine's sitting out. It's up to you. It's got a little oil on the top of it. I don't know if you guys can kind of see that, but you just have to stir it. Mine sits out, and it's okay. My husband's been taking peanut butter and jelly, I think, practically every day for 13 years since I've known him. And we literally make our own peanut butter constantly. A whole lot. So, yeah, it's 16 ounces of peanuts. Dump it in the blender, turn to the grind setting, 2 minutes, and it's done. It's easy
Wow.
peasy. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's it. But I'll tell you right now, if you're from Pennsylvania and you are a canner in any way, shape, or form, my canners, I will tell you right now, I have a love and hate relationship with canning. But I will say the cooking blender has made canning a whole lot easier for me personally, because literally it cooks the food and you don't have to babysit it. You can do apple butter in this thing. You can do applesauce. I know somebody was asking
It
about
comes out so
applesauce.
good too. The apple butter, applesauce. Oh, so good.
It's
I was asking about applesauce. I just recently got diagnosed with diverticulitis, and I have to change my whole way of eating. And I eat very, very bad. And I'm going to be doing a lot of applesauce, a lot of pureed soups, and that blender looks like what I need to help
Yeah.
me with that.
Yes,
So I want to see if I can earn it.
we can get it. We can get it to you, girlfriend. Yes, we can. But like I said, there are 2 ways to get it. Free, 60% off, and join.
That's 3.
Yeah, I'm keeping that
Oh,
around.
3. You choose how you want it. Yes. So, anyways,
In my kitchen, that's how I want it.
what's that? Oh, in your kitchen. Yeah,
In
I
my
agree.
kitchen, that's how I want it.
It definitely comes in handy. I make tomato sauce all the time in that thing. But I particularly am very picky on my sauce, and I like to roast my tomatoes ahead of time. You don't have to do that, but I like to do it. It gives them a different flavor. So I roast the tomatoes with some garlic, a half an onion usually, pull it out, and then I toss it. It takes about a half an hour or so in the oven. Pull it out, toss it into the blender, turn it to the sauce setting, let it do its thing, and you've got yourself some delicious tasting spaghetti sauce. Sauce for anything, really. I mean, it turns out
Awesome.
good. Now, I do not can that. I have 2 freezers downstairs that after it cools off, because it's extremely hot, after it cools off, I put it into freezer bags and I freeze it.
Oh,
That's
nice.
just a personal preference of mine, is to freeze it because, like I say, sometimes I don't care to do canning very often.
Understood.
It takes a little bit of time. But it is easier with that. I will say it that way. Because, like, especially strawberries, if you're doing strawberry jam, peach jam, all that kind of stuff, it makes it a lot easier. So, all right, guys, if you have any, does anybody else have any questions? Are we good? Jess, did you see anything else in the chat?
No, I don't see anything else in the chat. I do want to mention though, the gauge here, on the bottom, has the temperature. So this is up to 210 degrees, just to, share how hot it really does get.
Wow.
And then, it's got just 50 seconds to go and then the soup's done.
Did you say
Of course,
50,
after
50 seconds?
50 seconds. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
42.
Same
So
with
if you
popcorn.
if you are watching this on Facebook Live and you saw anything here that you want, think about send one of us a message. My customers or Nicole's customers, go to her. Those of you that were on here today that have already expressed interest in booking a party, make sure you just shoot Nicole a message really quick too, so she gets back to you even faster.
yes,
So this has,
some of them I'm not sure.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
All right, so now it's done.
Is it
In
done?
the last 30 seconds, like, did you see how fast it was going? The last 30
Yeah, it was
seconds.
really going.
So, up here at the top, this piece just comes right off. So I'm going to add I'm just going to do 2 tablespoons of yogurt. And you could do, like I said, I'm doing yogurt because I wanted to add some protein to this as well. But you could also do sour cream instead. You could do heavy whipping cream, regular milk, or, an alternative milk if you prefer. Doesn't really matter. So the soup setting, it does end. It doesn't have the add button like we mentioned earlier. That's just with sauces.
Okay. I thought it
So I'm
did.
just,
Okay.
so now I'm going to hit cancel and then I'm just going to hit pulse. Just to get that yogurt mixed in. One more time. And then if you guys will stick with me for just another 30 seconds, so I can just pour it out into a container so you can really see how nice and smooth it comes out. And also see the steam. This also makes delicious hot chocolate, by the way. Tonight's the night for hot chocolate.
Yeah.
So you can see how nice and smooth. I mean, it looks like green juice right now, but this will be good. So here's another idea. Instead of, to add texture to this, you could make homemade croutons, or you could toast chickpeas with a seasoning on it and get them crispy and use them as your croutons instead. So there is my healthy version of creamy asparagus soup, which will be my lunch tomorrow.
All right.
Looks delicious.
All right. Well, thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. Everyone, you're welcome for everything that we shared here tonight. We like to get together and do this once a month. So make sure you're following us. If you want to join us again next month and see what we got cooking in our kitchens, we do try to change it up and share, a bunch of different things each month. So have a great evening, everyone. Thanks again. Nicole, this was fun.
Yes.
And I can't wait till next month when we do it again.
All right. See you later. Bye, ladies. Thank you for
Bye.
joining.
Everybody, thank you.